sand without rock. Let's go ahead and settle more people over here. I don't want to move my miners. I guess I start moving clerks over here. As much as the amenity situation is bad, the mineral and agriculture situation is worse. So I'm going to take the amenities hit. Let's go for another agriculture district. We need to feed our people. We're going to have to settle Mycelium World. It's low habitability, but it's the only place that has any substantial minerals. I guess Stenlar 3 does have some minerals, as well as Haggers 2, but both of those options are far away. To boldly go, a new age of exploration is upon us. As we once mapped the surface of our homeworld, we must now brave new terrain, space. Let's go ahead and move more workers off of giving land. Demolish an agriculture district, sure. Yeah, demolish the city district as well. Save, again, a little bit more energy here and there. I can afford the housing for that and the jobs. I could actually do another too. Let's demolish yet another city district. More energy districts. Okay, an encounter in Matern. I don't actually see what we saw over here. I don't know what the signs are exactly, but let's go ahead and sign Aimless Honey. That is concerning for sure. Hopefully they don't nab that planet before I can. I really do want all of the worlds I can get. Okay, let's make a mad dash to build the star bases down to Stenlar now that we've surveyed the route. Cheerful nonetheless, go ahead and survey this debris and then continue exploring this route. The Green Thumb Starfleet has been repaired and is now back at home. All of the brave people have been gone for many years, and now they can actually return to their homes. Though obviously their homes probably, some of them came back, unfortunately, to find their homes devastated or removed, as a lot of people have been moved over to Sand Without Rock. Actually, an interesting time has happened. Sand Without Rock now outnumbers the people on Giving Land, so there's more population away from home than at home. Our species' fate has been maybe not secured, but definitely a lot more safe than it was in the past. Ancient warring tribes, historical nations in conflict, now united in empire. We must not, will not crumble. I could reluctantly go for another industrial district. I just don't particularly have the minerals to support it. But sure, let's go for it. And let's resettle the final remainder clerk of Giving Land. Probably going to need to go back and start picking up these energy credit deposits that I've been ignoring at some point. It's not the top priority, though. Getting our consumer goods situation under control is, because we're losing it fairly rapidly, we do not have that long. The Graceless Grouch has come into contact with another vessel that we have the first contact going already for. Good to know. Hopefully they do not have any star bases in this area, and I can actually push up and claim it. Hopefully friends and not hostiles. We are not remotely in a position to deal with any hostiles. Let's go ahead and resettle some of the metallurgists. Let me actually do this first. And the reason I'm doing that is that way they don't have to demote. By unemploying them and then sending them over unemployed, can immediately start working the job instead of having workers go up and steal the jobs and then having them be unemployed. Led by scientist Graceless Grouch, they call themselves the Academy of Technologists. They're not happy that we outlawed AI. So Graceless Grouch and I would imagine Outfoxed Disbeliever are kind of supporters of the scientific community that's a little less spiritual in nature. We don't have a choice for now. They're just going to be unhappy. That's not really the time to have disagreeing political opinions, but when is it ever? Fortunately, I have not yet encountered a starbase, only just a science ship, so hopefully we have the time to claim what we can. Go ahead and colonize the Mycelium world. It has a deep cave system, which gives it more districts and reduces orbital bombardment damage, and lots of caves. Despite the extremely inhospitable surface of the planet that is way too cold for the Adix people, there are small cave networks that just give the tiniest bit of habitability that allow the people to settle there and give access to lots of minerals that are desperately needed for the economy. So this planet is being called Shelter Underground for the time being. I kind of need more industrial districts. The mysterious sightings of an unidentified ship in the Matern system continues to invite speculation. Its design is completely unfamiliar to us, suggesting that we might be dealing with a new alien civilization and a possible first contact scenario. Aside from the fact that the alien spacecraft is clearly capable of hyperspace travel, we know next to nothing about these fascinating beings. No effort should be spared to finding out more. Keep at it. Let's go ahead and survey this system, Graceless Grouch, and then take a detour to explore up this way. Oh, we have found another world, a desert world. All right, 0G refineries are done. It would be good to build a starbase in order to extract more minerals from one of these nebulas. Another hostile fleet over here. Okay, good. That's not a critical system. There is no habitable worlds here. There's no reason to fight these yet. Sand without rock now has some gray markets. Many people on this planet purchase their necessities and amenities untaxed through illicit establishments, which produces some more amenities but reduces trade value. I'm okay with this one, actually. I'm gonna let them be. A perpetual gloom pervades on the surface of Giving Land as the planet slowly rips itself apart. With each passing day, the earthquakes increase in magnitude and the ash clouds grow denser. Pyroclastic flows and rivers of molten lava have claimed several cities in the worst affected regions. Seemingly endless caravans of refugees are slowly making their way through the constant ash storms to reach safer areas where the comforts of civilization can still be found. For now, the planet will not support life for much longer. It has been 20 years, and that means we only have at most 20 more years to go. And that's if we're lucky, but we're looking at maybe a decade to get everyone moved away. And we are going to run out of consumer goods in 3 months. It is time to purchase more. Buy ourselves more time to get more industrial districts up and running. So I'm going to build in the Bastamore system. I'm going to build the Bastamore starport, upgrade that mainly for the Nebula refinery, but also a little bit of trade value. Because it's only 2 trade value that'll be traveling, at this time, the base protection is going to be enough, so I don't need to have a fleet patrolling. But if I get any more trade value in this direction, I'm going to need to start getting a fleet. Oh no. The vessel we had sent to investigate the Heath aliens was destroyed in a violent assault by their forces. It is unclear whether they sought to capture our vessel or whether they simply sought to give us the message to keep away from their territory. Scientist Graceless Grouch died when the Flounderful was destroyed. At least Graceless Grouch was prepared to take the sacrifice. Him and the entire crew have been killed by the brutality of these aliens. Hopefully this does not mean that diplomacy is not an option anymore, but it definitely means that I'm scared and terrified of what is to come. They occupy this planet with a starbase, and they have an underwater world. And it also means we might get cut off from the Ep.2 Oasis world, as I suspected. Let's deprioritize the last of the metallurgist jobs, and then resettle this specialist over here. Let's go generator. All right, there is more amoeboids in the Pride system. This colony ship that's heading towards Stenlar 3. Let's go ahead and settle. This planet shall be called Collapsing Ground due to its many sinkholes that dot the surface of the planet. The unfortunate has happened. Cut us off. They've gotten to the Hunter system before I could, and that means that the Oasis world is no longer available. Iralian system. We need to fortify this with a new starport. Let's go ahead and get mercantile so that I can work down towards adaptive economic policies so that I can get more consumer goods from my trade value. I think that's more valuable at this point in time. We have gotten Shelter Underground colonized. One of my priests to go resettle Shelter Underground. And then mining districts is this planet's priority. We have gotten our Nebula refinery, which is going to give us some more minerals. And now that we are starting to get some more naval capacity, build more corvettes. I don't have the consumer goods really for it, but let's get some research labs up and running. Iralian station is done. Yeah, let's put some gun batteries on this starbase. Let's go ahead and downgrade the 2 priests, I guess, and resettle them over to Sand Without Rock in order to work as scientists. A tad bit ironic. Yeah, let's go for a temple. We need to have some unity as well, but then we're also going to need a city, follow that up with a city district. Ooh, we found a continental world over here. This continental world, it's a decently habitable world with actually high quality minerals and lots of mining districts. Our economy is saved if we can only make it over to this planet. While investigating signs of the aliens which had killed Graceless Grouch in the focal system, Aimless Honey found a network of coral deep within the underwater caves of Bet Grip. This coral was assumed to be unrelated to the advanced hyperspace-capable civilization the team was searching for, but upon further investigation, Aimless Honey discovered that this coral is in fact a single super-intelligent organic creature, which had constructed the elegant structures and ships discovered throughout Focal. By this point, though, the scientists had grown attached to calling this entity Deep Coral, despite the inaccuracy of the name. Deep coral consists of many smaller nodes that are connected together much like the neurons in our nervous system, forming a single massive planetary-sized brain. As their hive mind-like intelligence is a result of physical connection and unable to cross space psionically, each planet acts as an individual entity, and each of these individuals tend to get along with each other, much like a family or tribe of our species does. What we would call colonizing a planet is actually how the species reproduces. We have made first contact with Deep Coral. We are the Deep Coral and we speak as one. The hive mind has taken note of your presence. We will observe for now. Our future action will depend on whether you are a threat, an opportunity for expansion, or an unforeseen variable. We wish for nothing but to be friends, Deep Coral. The news that we have encountered intelligent alien life for the first time is spreading like wildfire throughout the realms of Giving Land. Our citizens are fascinated by these beings, and the media is full of reports and speculation on their culture and society. The revelation that we are not alone in this galaxy has largely been greeted with celebration on Giving Land. Just like us, the aliens appear to be relative newcomers on the galactic stage, and their level of technology is similar to our own. This is a momentous occasion. They are currently wary of us. They have pretty negative relations, actually. It's probably us because they destroyed our ship. But we will send Aimless Honey and Magical Idea and Maddening Angel to try and improve relations as fast as possible. I would love to get a non-aggression pact at the very least. Do I offer some kind of tribute? Do you want food, perhaps? Am I willing to give them this amount of food for that opinion boost? I mean, I do not have massive reserves. What's some food when they could easily send in a massive fleet and destroy my civilization as I know it? This is all the food I'm willing to sacrifice, but that 54 opinion might be just enough to swing and get that non-aggression pact and buy us some time. And at the same time, let's switch from expansionistic into cooperative. The Deep Coral accepts this gift with gratitude, and let's establish embassy and get a non-aggression pact at the very minimum. Fortunately, they are actually friendly with us now. Let's go ahead and get a research agreement as well. I gotta go for a defensive pact. I mean, they're willing to do it. They're friendly right now. I don't know how the situation will change. We're not in a position of strength to be able to defend ourselves where there are more hostiles throughout the galaxy. They have agreed the defensive pact. You watch our backs, we'll watch yours. Great. At the very least, we bought ourselves a ton of time, even if they break that pact or do something annoying. The question is, I do have the influence to do that. Do I go ahead and claim that planet anyway, since I have open borders? Oh, I'm going to do the annoying asshole thing that the AI like to do. Oh no. But the planet at all costs. We need the planets that we can get. That's 300 influence. That's an expensive cost, but we need that planet. Go, 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 go. All right, collapsing ground. A colony has been established here. Again, I need more mining districts. That should be a priority. A social decline has occurred on Giving Land. Let's see what that is. There are some breakaway states. Territories which have declared independence, focusing on their own internal affairs, which gives some more stability and egalitarian ethics attraction, but less max districts. I don't need districts. The shelter underground. Let's get you one of the miners over there, and let's get you working on more minerals. Collapsing ground. Let's settle the rest of our miners. So we've extracted the miners. Let's demolish these mining districts. Do I do it? Do I just go ahead and resettle these and just eat the demotion time? Screw it, let's do it. We're evacuating this planet. Oh, I can't really afford to remove the artificers, though. We need to get a city district up and running here, too. There are only 3 pops remaining on Giving Land. Most of the population has been evacuated. Once I have some more space, I'll evacuate the remaining and just let them demote. I've managed to actually claim this planet. It's costing a ton of influence to skip their borders like that, but I think it's worth it. Let's get a colony ship built. I don't know if I can really afford that colony ship, but let's get it anyways. All right, we've done it. Let's go ahead and build these research stations. I just got this system barely in time. I mean, hopefully it's fine because they're an aquatic species, so I don't think they would really want an oasis world anyways. Buy some more minerals. I'd like to build another industrial district. We have received some rather troubling reports regarding the deteriorating health of Admiral Unruly but Trying. Her haggard appearance makes it look as though she's aged nearly 20 years. The burden of duty can be a heavy thing to bear. So, Unruly but Trying, despite the attempts at gardening to improve her mental health, she has taken to drugs and is now a substance abuser. Unfortunate. Let's get adaptive economic policies. By adopting a more flexible approach to economic affairs, we will be able to recalibrate our economy to anticipate every eventuality. That allows us to go into policies and do trade policy and switch this over to, I don't really have the energy to do that yet, but it will allow me to switch over to consumer benefits if I need to for my consumer goods situation. Let me resettle more people over to Sand Without Rock. Very few people remain, only one pop remains on Giving Land. We do not have the energy or the influence to move them over yet, but we should be able to save absolutely everyone. Now, mechanically speaking, I would let them die and just quickly do Discourage Planet Growth to prevent new pops from growing, because that influence cost is not worth a single pop. I'd rather lose a single pop than the influence growth. From abandoning a colony, you have to pay 200 influence. However, like I said, I'm doing role-playing. I'm going to save everyone if I can. Unless I absolutely have to leave someone behind, I'm going to try and save them. Colony ship is ready. Let's go ahead and send it to Haggers 2. Let's see. Crystalline Caverns. Interesting. Rivers of Sand. In some areas, strange sands flow much like rivers on other worlds. Off of those two traits, this planet is going to be named Mirage and Glimmer. The last population shall be resettled to Collapsing Ground. This will cost 200 influence, which is ouch. I don't like that, but let's do it. This will destroy the colony on Giving Land. We are going to abandon Giving Land once and for all. And with that, the evacuation of Giving Land has been complete. We no longer need the evacuation protocols. We still have a rough time ahead if we are to continue to survive. It also means that my trade network is completely destroyed. What is my new capital now anyways? Collapsing Ground? I don't really want to pay the influence to force it to be something else, but I wish it would have been Sand Without Rock over Collapsing Ground, because Sand Without Rock is more developed. The one advantage of Sand Without Rock not being my capital is that means that if I need to, I could switch it over into a factory world. Sand Without Rock will at least be the sector capital, even if it is not the empire capital. Ah, dang, it's just shy. Each needs to be its own sector, and then we need 2 more governors. Terrifying Nonetheless will be in charge of Sand Without Rock for the additional food from jobs. Terrifying Nonetheless was a farmer until eventually the farm was burned down in a volcanic eruption and thus joined Terrifying Jenny's criminal network, slowly rose up the ranks, and now has been granted governorship as well. And then Terrifying Jenny can be in control of Collapsing Ground. Energy credits running out in 2 months. Yeah, I'm aware. I gotta upgrade the starport at Stenar, because that's my new capital system. Also, that means I'm going to start needing a massive trade route. 42 trade. This has 60. All right, so you, fortunately, you're already over here, so you need to start patrolling this trade route in order to protect our trade value. This is the Home Security Starfleet. I need to sell something off, I guess. Food. It's the only thing I have to sell. I'm actually in a tough spot. If I can't get that trade network back online, I'm in trouble. I should have built the starbase before doing that. I forgot that would ruin my trade network because it moved my capital. Genome mapping. If we are to survive these new hostile worlds we find ourselves in, we're going to need to learn to adapt. So let's start breaking down the genes and work towards maybe some genetic modification. All right, so now we have 49 trade value traveling along that route. That should fix my energy crisis. Let's get a adaptable governor. Unkind and out of control. On such a harsh world, life is not easy. Only the insane would dare live on this world and brave the dangers that is required in order to get the precious minerals that the factories of the realms of Giving Land require in order to keep the industry running smoothly. The realms of Giving Land is no longer a suitable name for the Empire when none of its population live on Giving Land. After much deliberation, the name has been decided, Dominions of Those Displaced. The name has been decided to be arbitrary enough that everyone can feel at home, instead of something that's tied to a specific land or a specific people or specific species. It's a generic name that can incorporate anyone that wishes to join, and that was why the Dominions of Those Displaced has been chosen as the new name. Now that I know that Deep Coral is chill and we're good friends, I'm going to go ahead and retool the starbase I built by their borders into an anchorage, because I don't need to defend from this direction anymore. Let's go for some shipyards over on Stenlar Station, and I shall move the Green Thumb Starfleet over to the new capital, set that as home base and enter orbit. This starbase is kind of in an awkward position. I think I might downgrade it, because if I had a starbase at the Pytham system, that would provide more defensive benefit. I'm at the point where I can safely research anomalies. I mean, at this point now, it's just a regular game. There's a lot of volatile motes in the Oprikig system. Almost never seen 10 strategic resources in a single system. That's crazy. I'm going to need to pick up that eventually. I'm going to go ahead and set my my trade policy into consumer benefits. This will grant me part of my trade value as consumer goods, and I can use that to fuel more research. Colonize it. It has no special features, but it has plenty of material wealth, thus has been named Wealth at Last. I'm kind of concerned how far I'm falling behind the Deep Coral. They're overwhelming superior. Let's have a massive expansion of the fleets. I now have the naval capacity to start working on that. We have received communique from a previously unknown spacefaring empire that call themselves the Reltec clans. They claim to have learned of our existence by listening in on the communications of another empire we are in contact with. You have hacked into us and now you call us friend? Bah! The Reltec clans will remain vigilant towards your kind. I didn't hack you, you hacked me. They are authoritarian, xenophobe, militarist. This government is organized like a massive crime syndicate where the strong prey on the weak and any neighboring states are seen as little more than raiding targets. The Deep Coral is rivaling them. I believe we must do the same. So let's begin harming relations with them. So let's go ahead and declare rivalry. The Deep Coral, you're gonna defend me, right? I mean, that'll make my relationship with the Deep Coral even closer, as we have mutual rivals. Our crew aboard the Dom SS Uncertain Grounds reported that the Hark A shipwreck appears to have been a result of an unexpected geomagnetic solar storm. The supply ship suffered a complete loss of life support systems and sustained inoperable damage, drifting until it entered Hark A's gravity well. There are no survivors. The ship cargo hold does indeed contain a notable amount of minerals. However, the captain of the Dom SS Uncertain Grounds cautions that the construction indicates Deep Coral design. It is likely that the minerals belong to Deep Coral, and they may be displeased should we lay claim to their shipment. We will not risk an altercation. Return the minerals to Deep Coral. Adixi, we received word of our downed supply ship's cargo. We would like to extend our gratitude to you for taking the time to recover it without the need for Deep Coral intervention. Our pleasure, Deep Coral. We get a favor from them. Their opinion of us improves, and we get some more influence. I won't complain about that influence. Genlot civilization encountered. We have detected the presence of a primitive alien civilization on Toph Yondkop in the Lathros system. They currently seem to be experiencing the equivalent of a renaissance, having recently left the medieval age behind them. Scientific knowledge is spreading rapidly, and the armies of their petty kingdoms are equipped with crude gunpowder-based projectile weapons. We should consider building an observation post above their world to study them more closely. Interesting. Giving Land has finally exploded, putting the tormented planet out of its misery. Only fragments of our former homeworld remain as cold and lifeless monuments of our past. As sad as it was to witness its end, we can rest easy in the knowledge that the entire planet was successfully evacuated, a monumental achievement in itself. It is now time to rebuild that which was lost. If adversity brings strength, then surely we are stronger for the trials we have endured. To the future, then. I hope you've enjoyed, and with that, goodbye.